10 pies, we first need some peaches, and these are some peaches from Michigan that I diced up, roughly around 4. You want about 2 cups. I'm going to sprinkle a little salt, a tablespoon of lemon juice, 1, 2, and 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. I give this a good stir. Now we're going to add our spice, and this is chai masala from Indian is apple pie. Now there's lots of chai masala blends out there. This is a blend from Anupi Singla, who is an Indian food blogger, as well as lots of other things, and she's also a friend of mine, and I recommend her blend for sure. So this is going to give the peaches a little bit more dimension than just cinnamon. All right, we're going to let this sit for 30 minutes. You can let it sit longer. I wouldn't go more than an hour though. You can already see that these are really ripe peaches, and I'm getting a lot of juice. Don't worry, we're going to do some good stuff with that juice. All right, this has been, I don't know, about 45 minutes. You can see this is a lot of juice. You don't really want this much juice in any kind of pie. You want to reduce it down, and it'll intensify the flavors, and it'll make the pies less soupy, less oozy. So I've got here a saucepan, and I'm just going to strain off all this deliciousness. I'm going to put these peaches back, and I'm going to cook this down to about 1/3. To the strained peaches, I'm going to toss in 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. Okay, I'm going to set these aside, and I'm going to get my juice going to a roiling boil. So you can see this juice is on a high heat, and I've got it on a pretty aggressive boil. That's okay, you just got to keep an eye on it. Like I said, I'm going to reduce this down to about 1/3 of where it was, and it's going to go pretty fast. You can see it's only been about, I don't know, 5 minutes, and it's reduced down, and you can see it's got thick, slow bubbles. It's getting very syrupy. This is where you want it to be. So I'm going to turn off the heat, and I'm going to toss this in with the peaches. I'm going to set that aside, and I'm taking out my pie crusts. So I have some actually store-bought dough just to have just a shortcut, and I rolled it out a little bit just to smooth it out. And I've got a biscuit cutter that's about 3 inches in diameter, and I'm going to just cut out. I'm going to reserve the rest of this dough, and I'm going to roll it out again and see if I can't get a handful more. Now I'm going to spoon a handful of pie filling at the center of each, not each of these, every other one of these. It's about a teaspoon. I have a little bit of water here, and I'm going to dab some water on the edge of my bottom, that I'm going to put the top on. Crimp the edges, And then if you want, use some fork tines to seal it. I have a baking sheet nearby where I'm going to set it. I've got wax paper, you can use parchment. Now continue until you're out of dough. I should mention I'm also preheating my oven to 375. Okay, so before we do anything else, I have 1 egg slightly beaten, a pastry brush, I've got 2 tablespoons of sugar, and I've got my chai masala again, and I'm going to mix the sugar, and if you have sanding sugar, even better. I'm out, so I'm just going to use regular sugar. Sanding sugar is coarser. Put a 1/4 teaspoon of chai masala. We're going to mix that up. Now, these all need steam holes. So I'm going to take some pruning shears and just, aren't those cute? So we're going to brush these with our egg wash. All right, chai masala and sugar. Sprinkle liberally on top. So we're going to bake these for about 15 to 18 minutes. I'm going to check them at 15, and actually halfway through that I might switch the pans and flip them. So let's get these in the oven. Here we are. I just took these out of the oven. They took about 18 minutes, and I did flip the pans halfway through. So you're looking for a nice golden color on the edges, nice and puffy. I'm going to let them sit on the baking sheet for a few minutes, and then I'm going to pull them off onto a cooling rack. These are wonderful to have on a picnic. You can serve them at room temperature. I'm actually going to freeze these for Labor Day because we have guests coming over, and I'm just going to pull them out the night before and get them up to room temperature and serve them after lunch, I think. So anyway, that's Fridays with Flora, chai masala peach hand pies. Thanks for joining me. Please subscribe to the channel. Keep up on all the fun that we do. And thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. Bye.